Hello, my little birdlings. Today I am here with Ale Jensen, also known as Liisa Kovala. This is her alternate ego, and this is her new book, Hygge and Homicide, not Hygge and Homicide, as I've been pronouncing it for the last year as she was writing it. And thank you for coming here with
Thanks
me.
for having me, Emily. It's great.
So tell me about your new book.
Okay, so this is Hygge and Homicide Book 1 in the Hygge House Cozy Mystery Series, and it's set in Lakewood, which is a northern town, like a fictional northern town, quaint, quiet, nature. And my protagonist, Minna, is a midlife um, interior designer from Toronto, and she's moving back to her hometown. And she and her business partner, who's also her best friend, they decide to open a sort of like an event place, a B&B where they can host weddings and retreats and all kinds of things. So this is like her big change in her life, right? Things are new for her. It's different. And so they have this opening day coming up for this place called Hygge House, and they find a body on the doorstep, as one does.
And hilarity ensues. Well,
That's
not
right.
hilarity.
Well, sometimes.
So, this is the cozy mystery route. What made you choose this instead of maybe something a little more gritty and dirty?
Yeah. Well, I love Nordic noir. So anyone who watches or reads Nordic noir knows that that's like mysteries that are set in cold environments, often with snow and very chilling and really quite gruesome and terrible things happen. And I love that, but I don't need that right now. Like I needed something gentler and relaxed and fun. So I think I just needed the cozy. And so I love the idea of doing Nordic noir in the future, but at the moment I just needed a cozy mystery. I love a cozy mystery anyway, and writing them is just so much fun for me. Like I didn't know how much fun I could have writing.
So, and I think we all need that right
Yeah,
now.
100%.
So, explain Huga or Haga.
Yeah, hygge is. I apologize to any Norwegian or Danish people who are like, yeah, no, not right. I think we're getting close to the pronunciation, but it just means a sense of coziness, contentment, relaxation, and like you can achieve that in your own house by like just dimming the lights, getting a comfy blanket, and maybe a cup of tea, maybe a great book, maybe if you have a fireplace, put that on, or light some candles, and just that kind of sense of peace that you can get in an environment. So I love the idea that this hygge house is is meant to be this real great place for people to go and enjoy themselves and be near nature and be near the lake. And then some bad things happen.
Well, when you hear the word, do you have a picture in your head, like with yourself in that situation? So, what when you say we put Lisa in Haga, what is that?
Yeah. For me, it's really that like that it's often for me like in the evening when I'm tired and the day has been busy and I just want to like lay back and just be like relaxed. And so just whether that's like in the winter, it's nice to have the candles going and kind of have a really peaceful environment. But I think you can equally get that like by a lakeside or outside in the summer with the sun. It's just that peaceful, contented, comfortable feeling that you get. So I think we can create it. We just have to find ways in our day to like pause and slow down, which we're not always good at doing.
Uh, I'm not gonna say. I think I feel a little called out. But
Right? I know. I hear
um,
you.
so you're mostly known for historical fiction, and this is your foray into cozy mystery. But you still this thread that's through all of them is your Canadian and your Finnish heritage. Why is that important to you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up and I still live in Sudbury, which is a really northern community with Finnish people. I don't know if we're now um, the most Finnish people are in Sudbury, but it's sort of usually Thunder Bay, Sudbury, Toronto, and Vancouver. Like we're the sort of in Canada those big centers. And so I grew up in an environment where there are lots of Finns, and everything I did as a kid was involving some kind of Finnish organization, which a lot of them don't exist anymore. And sadly, like a lot of the people who ran those things are no longer with us. And so things have changed over the years. But I still wanted to know more about my heritage, about Finnish history, about culture, and also Nordic culture. So I think I have been doing so much research on the historical stuff that when it came to writing this, I'm like, well, what can I write, and how can I, do something different? And the cozy mystery was definitely different, but I still had this sense like I can write something with this little bit of a Nordic Scandinavian bent to it that I hadn't seen in the world. So it might be out there, and if anyone knows about books that are, sort of this cozy mystery with Scandinavian or Nordic vibes, I would love to know because I'm going to buy those for sure, and I will read them. But I looked for them and I couldn't find them. So I thought, okay, so it's kind of good as an author to find something that speaks to you first, and that possibly fills a bit of a gap where other, maybe there's a couple other people out there who would be interested in this. I'm hoping. If you're out there, let me know.
Well, I don't know if you know, there's a town in out west that has a big Ukrainian population, and they built a giant pisanka as the decorated eggs that they do. So, what would the British people do in Sudbury if they were to build a monument?
Oh, that is such a good question, because the things that I think of often when it comes to um, Finnishness is like your connection to nature, like skiing, cross country, swimming, and sauna. Maybe they build a giant sauna.
Oh, that would be
right?
Awesome.
Right. I think that would be awesome. Build a giant sauna and people could just like in the town center, and we can all just go there and hang out.
Before I ask the next question, can you say the word sauna again?
Sauna.
That's
Yes.
so pretty.
Sauna.
So I know her personally. Jealous, I know.
Friends.
And you have a lot of interests. But why is it writing that you keep coming back to? What is it about writing that helps you express yourself?
Yeah. Well, I think I've always told stories since I was little. And I started by writing, or like actually drawing pictures, and then I'd tell a story about the picture. So even before I was writing, I was telling stories um, of these little people I was drawing, and then it started, writing stories. And so I've always done that, and I don't even know where that came from. But my mom was always encouraged me to read, and there wasn't a lot of like buying toys, but if I wanted a book, that was okay, kind of thing. And she was always introducing me to the classics and to like Anne of Green Gables and Little Women and Jane Austen later on. So she would introduce me to all these books as a kid. So I was an avid reader, and I think it just became like a safe place for me as a kid. And I loved immersing myself into those stories. So then when I started writing them, like, oh, I can create that for myself and for other people. So it was kind of nice.
Please tell me your mom still has one of the little pictures that you drew.
You know what? She's moved out of her house into Finlandia. She's 93, and she gave me a whole pile of things that I had done as a kid. So I have a little book that I had created with each one has a little character dressed in some kind of turn of the century outfit, and then I have like their name under there, and I have hole punched it and put little ribbons on the side to hold it together. So clearly I was like creating books as a kid. And my friend Sharon lives in BC now, and she must have been clearing out her cupboards one day because a couple of years ago she sent me a newspaper I'd written when I was 10. And so it had stories and pictures, and it was all about our neighborhood and all the things that were happening, which wasn't much, but apparently I needed to write it down.
Oh my god, I love that. So your other books are written under Liisa Kovala.
Yeah.
This is A.L. Jensen.
Yeah.
So are you at this point? Was it a good idea to separate those two worlds? And do you consider A.L. Jensen an alter ego in a way, or was it just a way for you to separate the how can I say the feel of the books?
Yeah.
I wanted to find a better word for that. All my good words go on the page. I don't say
yeah,
them here.
I 100% know what you mean. It's a good question because AL is actually my first name, Annalisa. So Liisa Kovala is what I go by, but my first name is actually Annalisa, which is a pretty common Finnish name. And my husband's last name is Jensen. And when I got married, I decided to keep my own name because he thought he didn't really care what I chose, but I was going to do Kovala Jensen, but he said, well, Annalisa May Kovala Jensen is a bit of a mouthful, and he's not wrong. so I chose my pen name to be the name that is still close to me, Annalisa Jensen, which is my kid's last name too. So it felt authentic to use that name, but I do agree that having a pen name for this book, which is so different from the historical fiction, meant I just had this freedom to write this whole other thing. And that readers who like my historical novels will not be confused when they pick this up and go, huh, that's not what I expected. This isn't about World War II Finnish history. No, it's not. So I feel like it did give me a little bit of leeway to write something different and just have the freedom to do that. But I'm also not shy about telling people those are both my names. Like I use them both. If you're looking for historical fiction, this will go under this name. If you're looking for the coast, this go under this name.
Okay, so it's not like Superman where you take your glasses
No.
off.
Yeah.
Where did Lisa go? Don't tell Lisa.
I feel like that's a Shakespearean plot too, right? Is give them short hair or a hat. Who are they?
Completely different person.
Thank you.
So another thing that you do in life that's wonderful is you're a book coach.
Yeah.
Can you explain what does a book coach do, and how would that be different than something if you were to get traditionally published? How would that be different than something they would offer you?
Right, yeah. So if you're getting traditionally published, you will definitely get an editor, which is amazing. I've been traditionally published, and you work with somebody who reads your manuscript carefully and gives you notes, and you make changes. So you might have a round or two, possibly three um, on developmental editing, and then sometimes you'll get an copy and a proofreader at the end. So those are really great things. You want that whether you're self-published or traditionally published. But book coaches serve a different role. We do that too, but we often work with writers who have an idea and they just don't know where to get started. Maybe they're a new writer or they're starting a new project. So we go through a blueprint process and figure out what the foundational elements of the story are. And then we can work with a client who's drafting and they want to have consistent pages due every 2 weeks, and we get feedback on and we have conversations about that. So as you're writing, you're sort of getting that ongoing feedback and support system. And sometimes I often work with writers who have a draft done and they get to a point where like, what do I do with this now? Like, I'm not sure and I don't know where to go. Like they've done as much as they could on their own. And now they're realizing the gaps in their own knowledge, which is perfectly normal. We all have that, right? We all, whatever stage we're at, there's things we know and things we don't know. So that's when I often get clients and they want feedback on as they revise and looking at their structure and making sure things are going well. And of course I do developmental edits too, which is really fun. When somebody has their manuscript done, I'll read the whole thing, do comments, give them an editorial letter, and I love doing that because it's like a great way to move a project forward for somebody. So it's like book coaches are like, sports coaches. We're cheerleaders and we're helping and we're like trying to fill in the gaps of knowledge and just helping that person get to the next level. And so it's really fun.
So if someone needs a book coach, obviously contact her first. But if you're somewhere where you can't, would it if you do require an education for it, right? So that would be the first person, someone who's looking would need to see, yes, this person was actually trained as a book coach.
So there's a lot of people out there that call themselves book coaches or there's lots of different names for it, and it's not that they're not right, but I'm certified through the Author Accelerator program, and they're kind of raised the bar on the education of book coaches so that you have like, and I was an English teacher and I was a writer and I have a master's degree. And I was a teacher for years and years. Like I taught writer's craft and AP research, and I took this Author Accelerator course, and I thought, well, I'm not gonna, it's gonna be interesting, but I don't know how much I'll learn. I learned so much. Like you don't know what you don't know, right? And so it was so valuable. So I would suggest people look for people who are certified book coaches in fiction, memoir, or nonfiction, and have a conversation with them, because part of it is just feeling really relaxed with that person, feeling like you have a connection and that your genre is something that they want to work with or have worked with or are interested in, because you need to have, like, there's some genres I wouldn't work with because I don't have enough knowledge, and I would just be like flat out to that person, yeah, I might love to work with the person, but it's not for me and I'm not going to be the best fit. So there's always going to be somebody out there who is like loves your genre and can help you.
So Stephen King has to look for a different book coach.
I don't know. I feel like I could take him on. Yeah, I have things to say. I like him very much. Stephen King, you're amazing.
If I may add on to that, just never be shy about asking questions.
Yeah.
This is your money. This is your idea. And if someone feels like they have a good story, like, oh, I can do ABC, like, prove it. Show me the credentials. Show me what you've done.
Yeah,
So,
100%. Yeah, you have to do your homework. There's a lot of people out there, and I do believe you can learn. Like I've learned from every single teacher I've ever had. You know, there's something to learn. But when it comes to your manuscript, that's your baby, and you're not trusting your baby with anybody. You want to make sure that you feel really comfortable. For sure. And it's a relationship. It's like the book coach isn't telling you what to do. The book coach is helping you and like supporting you and asking you questions so that you can make decisions for yourself. It's your book, right? So I don't want to come in and say you must. Like, no, you don't need to do anything I say, but like let's talk about it and let's see if we can come around to something that you feel really great about. And so I love that part because it's not prescriptive. It's very much a relationship.
I really love that, and thank you so much for speaking with me. And I see some potential customers coming in. She's selling right now at Perkin Pine in Sudbury, a beautiful cafe and restaurant, and they encourage reusable cups. So try to remember yours if you're coming to buy a book. But before I let you go, one of the things that I loved, and almost a little bit when I read your book, was the blueberry drink. Do you have a quick recipe for it? Because every time I read about it, I said, this is wonderful. And then I was immediately mad that I wasn't drinking it
Oh
with the
my gosh.
characters.
Okay. You know what? I don't, but I do remember my mom making something like that. And she would boil the blueberries for a very long time, and she'd have water, and I think there's some sugar involved, and there might be lemon juice involved. But I'd have to get a recipe, and I'll get that to you, and maybe I can post that somewhere. But yeah, it does involve quite a lot of boiling of blueberries, which sounds weird, but it's so delicious and good for you.
Well,
Good
we're
for
in
you.
Sudbury, so blueberries is
That's right.
actually perfect. So no wonder there's a big Finnish population.
100%. It's all about the blueberries.
Well, I hope you all have a good brain day, and don't forget to pick this up. Also available on Amazon, and they can buy it at Indigo as well, correct?
Yeah, you can get it at any of your bookstores, and you can go to the library and ask for it, and they'll get it into your library too.
Awesome. Take care. Bye bye.